Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of Android SQLite database tutorial. So here now we are going to register a new user on our Android application. So we have to enter some information into our database called the username and password. So here is the activity that access the username and password. Here you have to enter your username, password, and you have to confirm your password. Here is the database operations class. Okay, now we have to create a method for insert information into the database. So here I am going to create a method to insert data into database. So public void put information. You can use any method name. I use the name called put information. Okay, here this method receive three arguments. First one is the object of this class itself. Here this class is database operations. An object of this class database operation, I name it as DOP, and of course the second argument is the username, so I name it as name, and the third argument is the password. That are the two data we have to save into our table, name and password. So I just pass three arguments, the database operation object, name and password, into this method. Okay, now we have to create an object of SQLite database. We need an object of SQLite database to insert the data. So first I have to declare that object SQLite database. I name it as SQ equal to, and using the object of database operation DOP dot, and you can use this method called get writable database. So here we are going to write the data into the database, so you have to use that method called get writable database. Now we have to create an object of content values to insert data. So first we have to create an object of content values. CV equal to new content values. CV equal to new content values. Okay, now you have to add each column, each value for each columns into the content value object. So CV dot, there is a method called put. You have to specify a key, and now you have to specify value for that key. So you can got the key from our previous class called table info. So here the key for the username is username and password is userpass. So for the name, the key is table info dot username. Now you have to specify the value. Here the value got from the argument called name, so pass that value, name. Okay, now we have to put the second column value. So CV dot put the second column is password. So the key is table info dot password user pass. Here the key is user pass, and now you have to pass the value. Here the value get from the variable called pass. Okay, now we can insert the data into the table using that SQLite database object. So I use that object SQ dot. There is a method called insert. There are three arguments. First one is the table name. Here the table name is get from that abstract class called the table info dot table name. and here you have to pass a null column value. The purpose of this field is if there is nothing on the content value, it will insert null on that particular column. So we not using any column for inserting null values. And finally you have to pass the content value object. Okay, so now we successfully insert data into the database from this method. This will return a long value. If the insertion is success or not, it will return a long value. So I just get that value into a variable called k. There is no need to get that value. And also here I'm going to put a logcat message for now the status of our database insertion. Here also I put a logcat message. We can monitor our database operation from the logcat window using this log message. So here the message is one row inserted, one row inserted, one row inserted. Okay, now we complete the coding for inserting the data. So now we have to get the data from user and initialize this class and insert that data into the database. So now go to the register layout.xml. Here this is the activity for the registration page. Now we have to create the edit text for getting the data from the user. So edit text username. The first field is username. First edit text is username, and the second edit text is user pass, and the final one is confirm pass, con pass. Okay, so now go to the XML file. We can check what are the variable names, what are the ID for the edit text. First one is the now username equal to find view by ID r dot id dot that ID name is reg user, and the second column name is, and the second edit text is user pass equal to find view by ID r dot id dot reg pass, that is the ID for that user password edit text. And the final edit text is confirm pass, con pass. Final edit text is con pass equal to find view by ID r dot id dot that ID is confirm pass, con pass. Okay, now you need to cast it because these are all objects. So you need to cast it into corresponding objects. Here the object is edit text. So now we have to create some string variables to get the value from this edit text. So the first string variable is username, user pass, and confirm pass. Username, user pass, and confirm pass. Okay, again I go to that layout file to check it again. Okay, here the button ID is user reg, that is the ID for the button. So go to the register activity.java again. Now here we have to create an object for button. Okay, here the edit text is reg user and the button and the button is user reg, that is the ID for the button. So here I have to create an object for button reg. You need to import package for button. So reg is equal to find view by id r dot id dot that id for the button user reg, that is the id for the button. You need to cast it into button. Okay, now we have to create action listener for that button. So reg dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener, okay. So here you need to import some package. Okay, so now the first thing, we have to get the data from that edit text field. So we have to get the data. So the first string is username equal to that edit text object is username dot get text, using the method called get text dot to string. It will convert into string and save it into the variable called the username. So the second variable name is user pass equal to that edit text name is user pass. Yeah, user pass dot get text dot to string. And the final one is the confirm pass con pass equal to pass dot get text pass dot get text dot to string. Okay, now we got all the data from the user on these three variables: username, user pass and confirm pass. So first we have to check whether the password fields are matching. So here I'm using an if loop. If not user pass dot equals confirm pass. That means the passwords are not matching. So if the passwords are mismatching, then this if loop will execute. And here I show a message using toast dot make text. And first you have to specify the context. I use the base context, and here specify a message. Message is passwords are not matching. Now you have to specify duration for our toast. Now you have to specify the duration of the toast. I specify the duration as long. Now finally make the toast visible. Start show method. Some errors are something is missing. Something is missing here. Okay, there are some errors are present on our code. Okay, here it is not single quotes, it is double quotes. So put the message in double quotes. Okay, now it's fine. Now end this statement with a semicolon. Okay, if the password are not matching, it will show this message using the task. Now go to the else part. On else part, that means everything is perfect. That means user enter his username and the passwords are matching. So now we have to enter the data into the database. So first we need an object of context. We need an object of context class. So first you have to create an object of context class context. ctx is equal to this. ctx is equal to this. Okay, just initialize that context class object using this. And here first we have to create an object of that class called database operations.java. So here that constructor contain an object of context. You have to pass an object of context. So now here I'm going to create an object of that class database operations db equal to new database operations and pass that object of context class. Here it is ctx, that is the object of context class. End the statement with a semicolon. Okay, now you have to call that method to insert data. So db dot that method name is put information. You have to pass the database. First you have to pass the context object. You have to pass the database operation class object. Here it is db, and you have to pass the value for the username, and you have to pass the value for the password, user password. Here we got the password from the string variable called the user pass. Okay, and after completing this, we have to show a message using a task. That means now the registration is completed. Now put the task here and use the base context and print a message here. Registration success. Registration is success. That means we successfully insert the data into the database table. Specify duration, task dot, make it as long. Now make the task visible using show method. Okay, now we successfully insert data into the table on our database. And finally I just finished this activity using the finish method, and it will finish the activity and it will go to the home page using this method. And here also, if the user enter wrong password, we have to reset all the field. So I just reset all the field on our activity username.setText. By setting with this default value, it will show the hint again. So user password dot setText. Finally confirm password, con pass. Con pass dot setText. Okay, now we successfully complete the coding for inserting data into the database. We just successfully add the user information in our table, Now we can check our project. So I run the project, run as Android application. So open your emulator. Okay, now here by clicking the register button, you can register as a new user into this Android application. So I put the name for the username. I just put my name, and here I have to enter a password. First I put a wrong password. I just put the password as pass and confirm password is wrong. I put that password and click register. Now it will show there is something missing, password are not matching, and we got the hint back. Okay, now we have to check the database operation status. So first I have to clear the logcat window. We can check our database status on this window. So I just reset all the values available on the logcat. Now here again I put information. I just put my name. Now provide a password, and now I put the correct password, and now here something available on the logcat. I just clear it again. Now I'm going to click the register button. We can monitor the database operations on the logcat window. I just click register, registration success. Something exceptions are there. Okay, the database is created. We got the logcat window database is created, and we got some exception, no such table. There are some serious errors available, serious bugs available on our code. I will check it. Okay, one row inserted. There are some errors on our code. I will check it again. So I analyze the code again, and I find a serious mistake on our query. I forgot to add a space on the second column name data type. So here on this data type user pass, I forgot to put that space before that text. You need to put a space before the data type. Here there is no space is present. That means that actually the table is not created. So I save the project again. Now we can run it again. Now run it again. Run as Android application. So open the emulator. First we have to create the logcat window to monitor our database status. Just clear the logcat window and click register. And here I put a username. Prabish, and I'm going to enter a password, pass, and provide a confirm password, pass. And now I'm going to click the register button. Before I have to clear the logcat window again, and now I click the register button. Okay, here all are fine. Database is created, table created, and one row inserted, and also it shows the current memory available on the virtual device. Okay, that means now the table is successfully created. Okay, thank you for watching.